Welcome back to ABC 13 Weather. Now, tomorrow, November 4th, is Election Day, and while low voter turnout in Harris County has been an issue for a while, what happens when you factor in the weather? We'll hear for more on that is Houston Chronicle meteorologist Justin Ballard. Welcome back, Justin.
Thank you for having me. It can get even lower.
Yes, it can. Absolutely. All right, so we know Harris County typically can struggle with voter turnout relative to how many people show up to the entire voting population. How does weather influence those numbers?
I'm so glad you asked. Only about 8% of Harris County registered Harris County voters have voted so far in early voting. So that's
not
a
a lot.
tremendously low number.
Yeah.
But, you know, weather can certainly impact it. Not this year, hopefully, in Texas. But this is kind of an analysis of what we are looking at. So over the last 3 presidential elections,
okay.
I know 2025 is not a presidential election, but it's a little easier to do presidential elections because you've got more data to work with. Analysis from this researcher, Nick Turner, he's with the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, shows 18 million voter election observations among 8.8 million registered voters in North Carolina. Why North Carolina? Well, they have a tremendous, just like Texas does, early voting, mail-in voting sort of system. They also were able to de-identify voter records. So that allowed for more of a broad sort of look at election results. That kind of analysis over 3 presidential elections found that Election Day rain lowered turnout by about 1 percentage point.
1 point, okay.
You know, not a huge
That's not as much as, I thought it would have been more than that.
Yeah, you would think it would be more. Thankfully, it is not. Now, let's kind of localize things just a little bit to Houston weather. So
what's some of the stuff we've had before?
Yeah, we're looking at Election Day over the last, 25 years. I just looked at since 2000 because I didn't want to go through, almost 150 years worth of data. But over the last 25 years, the warmest election day just last year, actually 82 degrees
Get out.
in 2024. That was actually behind a cold front. I don't know if you remember that. I had to go through some of the record books here.
Yeah.
We had some severe storms early in the day. Thankfully, that did not, last too long into Election Day. The coldest was 2,067 degrees for that high. The wettest, 1.07 in 2004. Second wettest was just last year with 1 inch flat. So
none of those are really as extreme as I would think they could be, given what we get around here.
I was kind of hoping there would be something a little more extreme to work with. Not really a whole lot to work with there.
Yeah, okay, so what are we looking at, for this year? Let's walk through it again. How are things looking?
So let's broaden out the viewpoint to show more of Texas-wide weather. Temperatures, right at the average mark.
That's seasonal right there, right?
Exactly.
I'll take that.
A little warmer out west, mid-80s there from, say, Lubbock to Amarillo. And as far as weather goes, as far as rain goes, well, what you see is what you get.
Is there anything going on?
There's nothing. Hardly a cloud.
Will we see arrows in the sky?
We'll see arrows in the sky. That's about it. Stopping it here at noon, sunshine. And then we'll go into time here, 5:30, as people are coming home from work, maybe going out to the polls last minute. And again, sunshine is expected.
So I keep saying, the weather is not an excuse, right, to not show up and vote tomorrow.
It shouldn't be any year, but especially not this year.
Absolutely. All right, Justin, thanks again for running the numbers for us on that and on the unique Voters' Day trivia weather-wise here in Southeast Texas.
Thank you so much.